Welcome back to episode 4 of the Ali Woods broadcast. Thank you so much for listening, whatever you're doing right now. I hope you're doing it well. I hope you have faith in yourself. I hope you realize how well you are doing in life. Look after yourself, man. This is it. We are here to episode 4. Can you believe it? We're still chatting. I've got to say, first off the bat, I'm going to release this at its usual time, Sunday morning. I think that's a good time, Sunday morning. You're getting ready for the next week. Stuck on a podcast when you're doing your end of week prep, all that stuff that isn't as fun. You're doing your laundry, you're changing your bed sheets for whatever you got up to on the weekend. I know my listeners. I know what you're doing on the weekend. I don't want to know, but I know. Okay? Hope you all go to church on Sunday repenting. But whatever you're doing on the Sunday, you can stick on the podcast, man. That is the way the week goes. You have this Sunday prep. I slept with a lady once, and don't want to brag. And she invited me over on the Sunday evening, went for a drink, went back to hers, and then, slept together. It was good. And then it got to, what time would this be? It was like 9:30, 10. It's quite early. Not to say I didn't last long. I don't want you getting those thoughts in your. I know you're listening to this thinking, Ali, you finish at 9:30. When did you meet up? 9:15. That's not true. We met up at 4 a.m. Sunday. Let's say 4 a.m. So anyway, 9:30, 10, and all through my growing up amongst boys, went to an all-boys school. I was very sporty. I enjoyed those traditional masculine activities in the 90s and noughties. Growing up amongst all that, I always believed that through media that I was consuming, sitcoms and music and all this sort of stuff, that women, very clingy people. I remember thinking this, but when I was like, what would I have been? Maybe like 15, 16. I was like, oh, men want sex and women want relationships. Like, that's how it works. That's how all the media I was consuming, all the people I was talking to, the other 15, 16-year-old boys, that's what I believed. And I got to, 9:30, 10 p.m. I'm getting quite cozy. I'm there, naked, chilling in her flat. She got a nice flat. And she goes to me, so I think, did you want to head off? Excuse me? I thought you would welcome my presence in the flat. She's like, oh, well, like, obviously I'd invite you to stay over, but, it's Sunday night, innit? Work tomorrow, Monday, back to it. No messing about. And you know what? I respected it. I picked up my things, put my pants back on. I was like, I'll see you again. She said, I'm pretty busy. That wasn't like that. It was a good time. But I got my stuff. I was on the tube back. And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. Wake up in your own bed Monday morning. That is a good way to start the week. In your own bed, ready. You've had your sex. That's the end of that weekend. You've had your sex. You could put that in the box now for the next 4 or 5 days whilst you focus on activities you've got to do, your work, your routine. You got to do your laundry. You got to clean the bathroom. All this stuff. That's when it's needed. So I hope you're enjoying listening to this while you do your activities, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for the continuing love and comments that I'm getting here. Appreciate you. Kelly messaged in. I watched the first episode of your podcast yesterday. Somehow it didn't make me feel like the lonely fuck I am. I think you're being harsh on yourself there, Kel. Not going to lie. I think you are being harsh. I'm sure you're not that lonely. You got 1,000 followers. What are you talking about, mate? You got 1,000 followers on here, man. You got people. You got people following you, interested in you. And if you are feeling lonely, I've felt lonely before. If you are feeling lonely, I always ask myself, am I actually reaching out to the people in my life? Am I actually telling them that I feel lonely? Because sometimes I think I get this, I'm an emotional, sensitive guy. I like performing. It's an ego thing. Sometimes I get that, like no one understands me. You're in your room being like, no one gets me. Have you tried? Have you tried to let them get you? Have you actually asked people, can we hang out? I want to talk about something. Can I get this off my chest? Can you get to know me? Because sometimes I think it's a little bit of ego. It's like, I quite like that no one likes me or no one gets me. It's because I'm so interesting. That's the only reason why I feel so lonely. It's because no one could get my really complicated mind. That's my real voice, by the way. I put this one on for celebrity status. But yeah, so I want to say to you, Kelly, and anyone here, maybe lonely. Are you reaching out to people? You got friends in your life. Truly, have you got any friends? Are you saying to me you got no friends? You got no one you could talk to? You got no family? You got no one? Maybe that's the case, and I feel for you. And if that's the case, then maybe it's the thing of what we talked about before, going out doing some hobbies, meeting like-minded people, doing things you're passionate about, getting on forums online for things you're passionate about. I met 2 people at a gig. I was emceeing, and I said, how did you meet? They said the internet. I was a bit dodgy. I was like, well, how much are you paying here, brother? It was 2 ladies, and they met through playing Tetris online. And they were chatting on a Discord server. I was like, excuse me? Tetris, famous solitary game. Tetris is the game people play when they got no friends. And that brought them friends. How beautiful is that? Don't tell me that's not beautiful. When they were both like stressing about that L block coming down. And they were like, no, I lost again. I can't believe it. I'm such a failure. And the other one's like, no, you're not. No, you are not. There will be other blocks. There will be other lines to break. You did well. Life is a game of Tetris, man. I'm off for now. Life is a game of Tetris, trying to fill these different pieces into your life, trying to get some order. Just when you think you've got some order, it all comes crashing down, disappears. Life is Tetris. Damn. Sometimes I surprise myself how deep I am on this. I'm currently watching, this is back to Kelly, I'm currently watching episode 2. Yeah, that's right. I'll do 1 sentence and then I'll talk for 5 minutes. That's how my favorite conversations go. You get 1 sentence, I get 80. I'm currently watching episode 2 though, and your friend is right. You didn't seem too happy. Please set time aside for yourself and take care of yourself. Kelly from North Carolina. That's where this podcast is reaching already. We're in America, baby. We're big in America. Well, that's very sweet of you, Kelly, to look out for me. Appreciate it. Hopefully you got to episode 3 where I have worked through things, man. We're on episode 4. I'm buzzing. I can't believe it. I'm here. I'm ready to go. I'm excited about my life. I feel like I'm doing what I want. Comedy's going well. Love life is still exciting, man. I'm out and about. More on that later. I'm out and about. And then, what else is there? My family. I got to see my family on Sunday. I can't complain. I can't complain. And I hope you feel the same. I hope we're sorting out gratitude on this podcast, man. We are being grateful for the stuff in our life. I want to talk as well. This is from Roxy. Now, I'm going to shout out Roxy, big fan. Roxy has been with me since the days of 2020 when I started making videos. This is pre having even 10,000 on Instagram. She was there. And look, she's a real one. She comes to loads of shows. Big up Roxy. Commented on episode 2. Okay, so I knew about the frog analogy thing, but oh my God, hearing you talk about this on my commute back home last night, crossing over Tower Bridge, was like, and then it's the emoji with the exploding head. So relatable. Hey, that's me, babe. Hashtag relatable content. I love my life and I know I'm trying my best, but geez. So that's the first thing she said. The Megan is my queen shirt. Love it. A lot of people do. I need to get that bad boy out again. Let's go shopping. Got a good eye. And big Uniqlo fan here too. Maybe we'll get a sponsorship going. Uniqlo, do you want to sponsor me? I'm wearing a Uniqlo top right now. Sponsor me. I need those basics, man. Lastly, you got this too. Have faith in yourself for sure. Be patient and kind. And look, that is a lovely thing from Roxy. But I want to say, she's saying that to you as well. Have faith in yourself. Love yourself. Because you got this. You got this. You have. Even though you might not think you have, man. Zona Falak 4261 has said, the shopping talk, I feel you, bro. I don't know how people do it. You're quite right. And finally, on my last episode on YouTube, Yoni Man, you need to write a book, my friend. I don't know what that book would be, bro. I can't even think of a book that I've got to write. You know what? I remember when I met with what would be my first social media partnerships agent. They were keen to get me to have some book ideas. They really wanted me to write a book. I think that's a technique these agencies use, because once you're an author, it doesn't even matter how well the book sells. You've got that as a calling card. I'm a published author. That gets you into interviews, gets you on TV and other areas. You become this sort of expert on something. I'm an expert on nothing, bro. I don't know what to say. I'm an expert on my own life. That's the only thing I think. I don't know what. I've not studied anything to a high degree. I did English literature at university. That was basically turning up to a couple hours a week, chatting shit. I never read the books. I never read the. It was bad. I read about probably a quarter of the books I was supposed to read over the 3 years. I just couldn't be bothered. I mean, other people, like, I came from a school where you would do everything last minute and you would do it to a very high quality, otherwise you'd be punished. But that's how it is. You're always trying to keep on top of stuff. There was loads of stuff. I get to university, man. People are stressing. Oh, I can't believe it. I've only got 4 weeks until we hand in this essay. I mean, how anyone could deal with this? What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, man? This is easy stuff. Easy stuff. You have loads of time. It's just an essay. It's just some writing some words. What I used to do was, and I'm not saying this is right, but what I used to do was I would do the essay in 2 days. First day, plan it. That'd be like 2-3 hours. And then second day, bang it out, hand it in, deadline. That's the next day. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying if you're a student listening to this, that's what you should do. But what I'm saying is, it's not as stressful as you think, these things. University, for English literature, I mean, if you're doing an English literature degree, okay, I'm going on hateful rant here, but look, if you're doing an English literature degree at uni, chances are you're going to become an English teacher, right? Okay, I don't want to offend the hard-working English literature graduates that may be listening to this, but I have a suspicion that the whole of English as a subject in this country, I think it's a pyramid scheme. I think it is a pyramid scheme. I think what they're doing is they're teaching English to teach people to teach English, and then everyone gets employed. No one's actually doing stuff. Look, I don't know. I'm sure people are doing PhDs in English literature and shit, man. Like, I'm sure they're doing all that. But really, how many jobs actually care that you did English literature at uni? How many? I know one. I know one that cares. Every time you see an English teacher, they're in on it. And look, I got friends who are English teachers. I went to a wedding just a couple of months ago of 2 English teachers. Could you believe it? They made us wait 5 minutes after the end because we were noisy. They're good friends, but it's a pyramid scheme. That's what it is. So don't be too stressed about this sort of stuff, man. It's all fine. I forgot what the tangent there was anyway, but here we go. Right, we are back. We are back. Now, I didn't even get to explain. Oh my God, we're halfway through. I didn't even get to explaining what is going on. Oh, by the way, the halfway point, I made this to say some more things. Right, so you can comment and message if you want me to talk about anything specific. I think I'm going to start reaching out to people who follow me and say, like, what maybe problems would you like to be discussed and solved, or solved. We'll see. But other thing is as well, you can get tour tickets still at this point. Go in my bio, Hackney Empire on October, man. The good tickets are going. If you're in London and you're listening to this, the good tickets for Hackney Empire are going, man. Those front rows, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows, they are gone. So you're like scrabbling around. You're going for the scraps now, okay? So that's where you got to get them in now before you get to the really tough seats up there. So get them Get my tour tickets. If you're enjoying this podcast, if you're enjoying this chat, if you enjoy my sketches, get those tour tickets. Now, pause this and just buy them. Treat yourself. Treat someone else. So, I'm recording this on Wednesday, midday. And I would normally try and record on a Saturday, release it on a Sunday, because I think that's sort of a good time that works with the schedule. So, but today I've had to do it on Wednesday because I will not be here Saturday. This weekend I'm going to Stockholm in Sweden to do a couple gigs. Now, I'll obviously update you on the next episode on how they went. But what I will say is that all I've heard about Scandinavia, in terms of comedy, stand-up comedy, tough. That's what I've heard. I've heard tricky audience. I've heard they're beautiful people. They sit there and they look at you. They don't laugh. They just stare. Apparently after the show, they come up and they go, "That was amazing. I really enjoyed that." But during the show, nothing. We'll see if old Woodsy can chop them down. We will see if I can do that. But I'm looking forward to going to Stockholm. Never been. So this will be released after I've been. But I'll let you know what's good out there. What's good to go. And also, next Sunday, and again, we'll have to be talking about this on the next episode, I am going to it's like a kink party. Yeah, you heard right. Old Woodsy, it's getting a bit saucy going on here. The Ali Woods broadcast, getting a bit PG, getting a bit after watershed. So, yeah, I went to one of these randomly. Look, you can check this out on my YouTube. I got a whole stand-up routine about it. Just go on my YouTube, craziest party ever, 9-minute stand-up routine about it. But basically, I just bumped into an ex. This was like 2.5 years ago. And I was like, "What are you up to this weekend?" And she went, "I'm going to a sex party, actually." And I thought she was going to say pub, but here we are. So she goes, "You can come if you want to." And I was like, damn. Yeah, why not? So I went along, and what I got told, I went with her. Well, I got told that it wasn't like a sex party. You didn't have to have sex or anything. But it was like a sexy party. So everyone was dressed up, and I had to be like, I didn't have to, but you have to have a costume of sorts. So I was like topless with like braces and like a suit, trousers and stuff. I don't know if that was the right thing, but I got let in, because if you didn't have a costume thing, you weren't going to be let in. So, but I had a really good time. I had a really fun time. And then not too long after that, sort of, 4 months, 5 months later, I got in a relationship. And so I had that for 1.5 years. And then, you're always thinking grass is always greener in a relationship. And when you're single, I don't know if you're like me, but you're just thinking, oh man, I wish I had all those things that I had back when I was in a relationship, like all the moments, the cuddles, the support, the texting, all that lovely stuff that you get in a relationship. And then when you're in a relationship for a long time, you're sort of like, I wish I could go and like flirt with people and like get off with someone random, I wish I could just basically do whatever I wanted all the time, instead of having to like check if that's okay, or like put up with, what my partner's interested in that I don't really care about, or I'm trying to care for them, or their friends who they're fine, they're not, but they're not really my friends, all that sort of stuff. So when I was in the relationship, I was thinking, damn, maybe I would like to do something like that again. Now, I didn't bring it up with my partner of the time, because we were happy and healthy, and it wasn't something I needed. But also my partner, my ex, was she's straighter than me. She's straighter than me, straight down the arrow, loves cock and balls. I don't want to be disparaging, but no interest in the vagina. And I have a little bit, maybe more interested in playing that. So I've kissed a couple guys before in my life. That's all I've done. And they've been all right. I remember first time that happened. Jesus. I was in Liverpool, 2018 this would have been. So, Liverpool, so it's already starting on the back foot. And I was up there doing a gig, and my friend Eddie came along. Eddie, lovely guy, Eddie Fortune, check him out. Very funny comedian based up in Liverpool. Came to the gig Wednesday, He's like, I'm taking you out. I'm like, yes, please show me the night out in Liverpool. Now, Eddie is gay. He is, I mean, anyone can be anyone, but he is traditional. Within 1 second, you're like, oh, you're a gay man. He loves it. So he took me out to the best gay bars of Liverpool. We were hopping between them all. I was having a great time, drinking, partying, chatting with drag queens, having a laugh, all that. Wednesday night, these places weren't full, but they were fun. I guess like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, I'm just like, I want to get off with someone. The whole thing of, like I'm straight, but I'm at the gay bar, so I'm just hanging chill, goes away, because I'm like, damn, I just want to kiss at this bar. I've had a few rum and cokes. I just want to get off with someone. I'm 24, having a good time, and I'd been chatting to this guy about football. He was really nice. He's a lovely dude. And then I remember we were just getting off in the club. Next day, I'd stayed at Eddie's. I wake up super hungover, forgot to set an alarm. Fortunately, I get up with just enough time to get my train because, oh yeah, that's right, I have to go back into work tomorrow. So didn't have enough holidays to take days off work in the middle of the week, but I wanted to go do this gig to potentially get more gigs with him. I didn't. I took a half day on a Wednesday afternoon, half day Thursday morning. So I rushed to the train. I get on my train with 5 minutes to go. Now I needed to get this train. This train gets me back into London about 12:30. So I'm straight into the office. Also, this is time. There's no working from home. This is 2018. So I'm straight into the office. So you can imagine it. I'm absolutely hanging. I've got to go back into work. I'm sitting on this train. I'm sweating because I've literally run to get it. And all I'm thinking is, I'm gay. That's it. That's all I'm thinking. I'm thinking, I'm gay. I'm a gay man. And, I've just been repressing it all this time. That's what it is. That's obviously me. Like, can't believe it. I'm going to have to change my lifestyle. I'm going to have to, come out to everyone. Because my brain couldn't fathom, 2018, 24-year-old Ali couldn't fathom that you could just explore sexuality like that and it not be this huge revelation of the only reason you would ever get off with a guy is because you're fully fledged, I want penis, I want balls in my mouth gay. You can't just maybe be a little bit gay. You might be at the spectrum of sexuality. You might explore a bit of bisexuality. No, I messaged my 2 closest female friends that are bisexual, and I was like, what the hell? I got off with a guy last night. What do I do? And they were just both like, haha, cool, fun. It's better getting off with women, isn't it? I was like, all right, safe. But they went, look, don't worry about it. It's all good. You're just exploring something. Obviously, that's cool. And I messaged Eddie and I was like, oh my God, did I get off with a guy last night? And then Eddie said, yeah. Oh yeah, so funny. You got off with a fat bird. I was like, all right, bruv. All right. Nothing wrong with that. I like them curvy. Am I going to lock me up? Am I going to jail for that? And so I was just stressing. I got back into work. Obviously, work. I'm sweating. I'm pushing all this down. I'm in my collared shirt, turning up, Mr. Independent. Hey, how was Liverpool? Yeah, great. Thanks. Yeah, really good. Gig go well? Yeah, lovely gig. Yeah, lovely gig. Yeah, oh no, really nice. Got the train back. All good, yeah. Had a drink afterwards. Just one, just a quiet one, blah, blah, blah. I'm going in the toilet. I don't know if you've ever done this at work. You've been hungover. Worst hangovers I've had at work. I go in the toilet and I'm not even doing anything. I'm just having a word with myself. Deep breaths. That's all I'm doing. Splashing water in my face, looking in the mirror. Pull yourself together, Ali. That's what I was doing at work. The other time I did that was, Eddie Fortune, man. This guy has caused me some pain. He's a good friend. He's a lovely guy. But I was doing Edinburgh Fringe in 2018, and that's where I met Eddie, where we were gigging together there, and we had this amazing last night. I was just buzzing, drinking, having a laugh, partying. One of the tech guys there, he was like, Australian, he was like, bro, do you want to do some like MDMA? And I was like, hell yeah, buddy, let's do it. I put the MDMA in a shot of coffee Patron, smashed that. That was the one time that I've taken. I'm not a big drug guy. I've taken MDMA a few times. I've largely really enjoyed it. My philosophy with drugs is you just take a bit. And that's it. Because the amount of drug stories I've heard from friends, from people, it's always bad when they go, oh, you had a really bad time on that. Yeah, I took a bit and I just didn't feel anything. So like I took like 19 doses more. And then basically I thought my granddad had traveled back in time to kill me. And you're like, yeah, I think I'm going to swerve that one. So my theory with all these is if you do want to experiment to take drugs, just take a bit, see how you feel, and just do that for the night and wait till the whole night's over. And if you didn't feel much, that's okay. You can take a little bit more next time, but don't on the night just decide, I'm going to eat these all. So I remember one time I was doing this, took a bit of MDMA with this guy, whack, in the toilets in Edinburgh. Oh my God, my head was pounding, buzzing. I was so up. I was like, oh my God. I was chatting to everyone. I was just being awful, awful company. I mean, I was friendly and nice, but I was just like, too much. And so then I ended up walking up off a seat in the morning with a lady who worked at the venue who I'd got to chatting with. It wasn't a romantic thing. She had a boyfriend, but I basically guilt tripped her. I was like, come on, like we've been hanging out. She was like, oh, fine, okay, I'll do it. And so she was really nice. So we walked up the office seat together in the morning. Bless her. I think she was just worried about me, to be honest. She's just a lovely person. Shout out, Liv, lovely lady. We were just walking up this thing, and it was so much fun for me. I'd probably awful for her. And I had all this great time, and got back to my flat at like 7 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I was still buzzing. I was trying to watch TV and stuff. Had a gig the next day at like 1. Got to the gig, terrible. Then had another gig that evening with Eddie and Jay. We were doing the last gig of the Fringe, like last absolute night you could do gigs there. And then I didn't have a place to sleep because my flight, because I had to work the next day, my flight was at like 6 a.m. So I had my bags and I just went from this gig, had another drink, and then went and got the bus to the airport. And this is the only time I've like slept in an airport. I got to the airport at like, I don't know, like 1 a.m. or something like that. And then flight's at 6, so I'm just like trying to sleep for 3 hours on a bench. I mean, I've not got the bench myself. I'm sit upright on the bench, just trying to hold on to my bags, hope no one steals them, and just like sleeping. And other people, it was so weird. It was like sort of that zombie apocalypse ward where you've just got like a hospital where people are just like, or like a hurricane thing. People are like lying on their bags and trying to sleep and stuff. And then like I remember just waking up, and it was like a scene cut in a TV show or film, and suddenly the airport was alive. Like nothing was open when I went to sleep. It was all, everything closed. You couldn't get coffee, couldn't nothing. It's just done. People just sleeping. And then suddenly I woke up. Suddenly it was fucking busy. It's like it's like Monday or Tuesday morning or whatever, and everyone's rushing around trying to get their flights and stuff. Jesus, I was just like cut into gear, got on the flight, tried to sleep on the flight. Flight's only like 40 minutes. Get into London. I'm straight, don't get to go home. I'm straight from the airport to work. Now, if you've heard anything about my last 48 hours, it has not been healthy and restorative. So I just drive myself to work. Also, by the way, I've taken the month off for Edinburgh. That's all my holidays gone. So this day, I've got to catch up on a month of stuff I've missed. So I'm there just looking at emails. I'm just head in hands. I'm just trying to pretend I'm a normal person. Everyone's like, how was Edinburgh? I was like, hey, that was really great. Thanks so much. I loved it. But yeah, I'm so glad to be back. I'm just thinking that was a time when I remember I went into the toilets and I just head in hands, just thinking, just get through this, man. Just get through this. It was that afternoon crash. It was like 2 p.m. Still had like another 3-4 hours to go. So just get through this, man. I was considering masturbating. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I was considering masturbating because I was just like, I need something to just give me some life. Like I was just I was just so dead. I had no endorphins, had no energy, and I still had to go back out there and do a whole afternoon of work. And my office, thankfully, very nice. I don't know if they knew, whatever. Managed to get through the day. And then that night, I'd made plans to go see Ant-Man 2 with my friend. Fell asleep in the cinema. I've never done that. Look, no discredit to Ant-Man 2. I'm sure it's a fine film. But I have never done that since. I fell asleep during the film. Old man vibes. Anyway, that's a long roundabout way of saying that's why I'm doing the podcast on Wednesday. I think I got through one thing today. One thing. Right, next week, let's ratchet up. Let's talk about stuff that you want to talk about. Let's talk about struggles. Hope you're doing well. You're definitely doing better than I was in either of those stories in the morning. Look after yourself. This week, you go get it, man. You go do your thing. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy life. Take a moment. This week, that's my challenge to you. Just take a moment when you're stressed about stuff to just take a breath. Just appreciate that you're alive right now. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening to this. I will see you next week. Hopefully, I'll have a lot to catch up with you on. I've been Ali Woods. Thank you for listening to Ali Woods Broadcast. Look after yourself. Take care. You got this. See you next week.